Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about Holga. This was my first medium format camera. I spoke to you a few weeks ago about my first uh, SLR camera, and this when I was doing my course in UK like 10 years ago. I was doing a course, and the teacher saw how interesting I was, and he suggests to me this camera, and he says it's a weird one. It's like a plastic, like a toy camera, and the camera maybe nobody takes seriously, but it can produce some really interesting uh, photos. So let's go through some very basics about the story of the camera. It's a medium format camera. It's medium format is the size is not the typical 35 millimeter, but it is kind of larger, and it can produce much possibly better quality images because of the size. But as a film, if you use it in the proper lens and the proper camera, which is not Holga. It is made in Hong Kong. The first version of it was like 1982, and it was producing like because of the camera is not perfect. I mean, as you can see, oh, maybe I have removed it, but I usually have some black tape carrying it because this is so bad that can go and open and you can expose the film. So for protection, everything is plastic. So for protection, I was using I was having some tape here. So this camera has a lot of limitations, and it's like it can vignette, blur, light leaks, and other distortions. But these limitations have brought a cult following among some photographers. When it was introduced first in China, it was like it was a film, a cheap camera to take photos, and at the time because it was quite available, the black and white film. But then when in China they start having more affordable 35mm cameras, and they drop the price of the 35mm, then it starts stop using it. But what happened is like the weakness of the camera become its strength, and a lot of photographers like to use it because of the imperfections of the photos, and I think I am among of them. So I will start by showing you some scans, and then I will show you also some prints. As you can see, these are 3 photos or 4 photos, color photos I took when I was still in UK, and although it is nothing special on them, this lens is producing some weird tones and colors, and also it in most of the photos because of the lens, in Holga lens, because the lens produced like some unfocus on the around the image, and it's focused on the middle. And I will show you some photos on the print, you can see it more. And then I have 3 black and white photos on a cemetery I took from Greece, and this I developed myself. Then I have some color photos again, which are from the town center, and it was the first films I developed with a C41 myself, and they were not good because I was not using the C41 kit correctly. But still, I got some nice images, and this is like more like the subject, and that it was kind of interesting. You can see the color, like the disabled people, pedestrian, parking spot, then a bike, which I find interesting. Then the photo with the dress is kind of more close to what I like. It's like maybe it's nothing special, but I think there is a story there why the dress is there, and it picked well. The colors came up well. Then there is a teddy bear, which again I found quite interesting. Photographing bears, and especially when they are abandoned or in places I didn't expect to find them. Then I walked on a different day on the university campus in the town, and in the second round the building, which is more for people using astronomy in the university, there is some kind of leak. But again, it's not perfect. But that's what's happening with these photos. They don't supposed to be perfect. If you want to create a perfect image, you will not use this camera. And then there is the smile I like. And then there is another day which was like, again, it was, or maybe there was also some film from Lomography, which is, I think it's called Metropolis? Or Metropolis, yes, I'm looking to my camera, to my laptop. And again, there are three, it's a rainy day and it wasn't like perfectly exposed. So, but still, these imperfections gave some nice images. So, if we go back to the camera, I mean, this was the first one I bought. And as you can see, the name is 120 GCFN. And I think the G stands for glass, although most of the cameras were plastic. This one has a glass lens, but still it is imperfect. And except that is the color film, it stands for the color flash because it has the white. And you can turn this, it adds a filter blue, yellowish, and red. And I have to admit that it is something I never use myself. So this was the first camera. Then I have this one. I will maybe speak in a different video for this one, or if I speak at all. This is a 35mm camera, again Holga, and this is similar lens. I think maybe the same, and they adapted for the 130mm film. As you can see, there are not lots of choices in this camera. You just click, makes a nice sound, and you can have like for focusing, you can have like a mountain, lots of people, few people, and one person. And it has a setting here for flash and possibly for sunny, supposed to change the aperture, but I read in some of them that produced even it didn't work at all. So you just have it and it's there. It does nothing. And then I have another one which is called Holga 120N that has no flash or something else, but I think this has a plastic lens. So let's see some more photos. Again, I'm going back to UK because it was a period I start using it, and this is an image of. I think there's some, for me, still this photo is like I printed 15 years ago, and still when I'm looking to them, it makes me feel nostalgic. And it's not only the feeling that something happened so many years ago. It's like one of the good periods of my life. It is also that the camera itself gives a nostalgic feeling because it's like a fairy tale feeling. This imperfection is I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but it's well focused here, and outside is unfocused, and this is because of the lens itself. Then it's a scene maybe from a pub in London, a sitting place in London. This is I think part of the university campus of University of Surrey in the campus. They built close to the Olympics, and the time I was there, like a sports center, 5-10 minutes walk outside the campus, and I was living close to that. And this is another similar photo. It's a building on that area, and as you can see again, maybe it's more clear here how unfocused it is. Tree. And again, it has, sorry for the reflection, it's maybe with the paper. It has some nice. It has this feeling from fairy tale, and still, as I say, all these photos are giving me a nice feeling. This potentially in the scene in London. I think this was a train stop, a house or a building in London. This is the same building as before in Guildford, in Surrey, but from a different angle. Another building, I think, in London. It's like 15 years ago, so. And this is like, this was the statue I saw you also in a previous video when I took some photos with Nikon F65. And what's happening in Holgas, you can add some filters, and they came for some prisms and things like that. So this was the statue using this prism. Then I have some prints from my hometown. This is from White Tower. I think I spoke to you about this landmark in my that was in the AI, the cyanotype of AI images. When I create an image with my hometown, it was appearing this landmark. But this is like a photo. I took an actual photo of this landmark. This is like a kiosk in my hometown. It's Thessaloniki, Greece. Pedestrian area and a shop again in Thessaloniki. This again, the white tower in the back, and there was a reflection on the water, and the reflecting back in the camera. And this again it was kind of surreal because you have the building and you have these big squares. I think that was from an installation, from an exhibition or something like that. But now it's like, it looks like why they are standing there, and I thought it was interesting to photograph it. I think my development on these photos maybe was not perfect, or the negative was not perfect, and it came out a little light. I think that's my thoughts. I mean, as I say, I kind of make some notes, but then I try to speak like I was speaking to a friend on a video call or something like that. And if we keep in summary, Holga, it was developed as a toy camera or a mass production camera, and it was never claimed to be a perfect camera, I think, at least. But it was a camera which was producing some really interesting images, and when it comes to medium format, it can produce some better quality prints or larger prints. Okay, better quality is subject to the camera. And it's a fun camera to use, and it can give you some joy and happiness. And as we say again, what's photography if it is not joy and happiness? If you like this video and you think that other people might like it, so please like and subscribe so more people can be able to see it. Or if you have any questions about the camera or any comments, I will be happy to reply. Have a good day, and thanks again. Bye.